I'm a recruiter, and here are 11 things that you might be doing in your interviews that give me the ick that'll make me reject you. So make sure you stop doing these things because these are red flags to recruiters. And make sure you stay to the very end because the last red flag is the one that trips up even the best candidates. The first red flag is if you don't know what is on your resume. What we typically do is after you apply to a job, we'll review your resume and share with the hiring manager and make sure that we both think that you're a good fit for the role. Then on the recruiter call with me, I'm gonna be asking you about specific bullets or projects or things that you listed on your resume, which are obviously what I need for someone to be able to do in this job. So if I ask you about a bullet or something that's written on your resume and how you did it, why you did it, or what was the result of your work, and you don't know how to answer that question, that's a red flag. Because I'm automatically gonna assume that you lied on your resume and you are not a fit for this role. And of course, if I catch you in a lie, you'll get blacklisted from my company and you can never apply for a job there again. And if you actually wanna make sure that your resume does get through the ATS system so that it gets in front of a recruiter, you're gonna wanna watch this video right here so you can optimize your resume for ATS. Now, along those same lines, you can group everything under this one red flag, which would be anything that would make me think that you're cheating in our interview. So if it's a video call and your camera is off, or your camera stops working, or your camera isn't working, or it seems like you're stalling before you're giving your answer, or if it seems like you're reading off of a script, or if I'm watching your eyes and they're just moving back and forth on the screen like you're reading something, or if you're using unnatural language, I may think that you're actually reading off of a rehearsed answer. If you're supposed to be sharing your screen for a coding exercise and I can't see everything on your screen, that's gonna be a red flag. Or if it seems like you're using any of these new AI tools and cheats. The next red flag is if you tell me you need time to study for the interview, or if you try to schedule the interview 2 or 4 weeks out. So with the exception of interviewing for software engineering roles, because you're gonna be tested on like system design and things that you don't actually use at your job every single day, every other person, when you do your interviews, we're gonna be testing you on concepts and skills that you're supposed to be doing already in your job. So if you tell me that you need time to study to do things that you're already supposed to know, that's a red flag. But if you actually need time to study, here's a good excuse that you can give your recruiter. Oh, when it comes time to scheduling, I just wanted to let you know that I'm in the middle of a really huge project right now and we're about to hit a critical milestone in the next 2 weeks. So I'd actually like to make sure that I can focus on delivering for my current team and then I'll be 100% focused and dedicated for nailing these interviews because I'm really excited about this opportunity. And also, I actually think the hiring manager would be interested to hear about what I've done with this project because it relates perfectly to what you're trying to hire for in this role. So it's obviously better, I think, if I could talk about it once it's complete. Now, the next red flag is if you don't ask any questions to me as the interview is wrapping up. This is gonna give me the impression that you don't even care about getting this job, which makes me think we're just gonna be one of your practice interviews. So you should have questions prepared to ask your recruiter in that first call. So here are some examples on screen of good questions that you can ask your recruiter. And they're gonna be somehow getting more information around the role, the company, the team, or your boss. Now, of course, you already have the job description, but you should still ask to get more context. You're gonna wanna know things like, what are the immediate projects that I'll be working on? Or what are the skills that are missing on the team that this role is looking to fill? Or what is it like to work with this kind of hiring manager? Or how will performance actually be measured in this role? Now pay very close attention to how I worded that last question. How will my performance be measured in this role? I did not ask, how can I get a promotion? Because that is the next red flag. If you are already asking me how long it takes to get a promotion or what I need to do to get a promotion, that is a red flag when you aren't even in the role yet. Or similarly, if you ask me how long you have to work in this job before you can switch teams internally, that's also a red flag because I'm gonna think that you are a flight risk or you don't even plan on staying in this job, which means you don't even want this job. Now, obviously, I know that these are important questions, so you should ask these after you get the job offer, not before. Now, the next red flag is if I ask you, what are your salary or compensation expectations? And you answer like this. Oh, I trust you that you pay market rate, and that's good enough for me. I don't know. Actually, I think I prefer to talk about compensation expectations at the end of the process after I finished all of the interviews, because then we both can get a better sense and evaluate if we're really a good fit for this role or not. This is a red flag because I'm gonna think you're just wasting my time. How do you not know how much money you wanna make for a new job? Because you obviously don't wanna take a pay cut, right? And you obviously wanna make more money than what you're making right now. So there's obviously a minimum number that you're looking for. Come prepared to this interview. You can do your research on websites like salary.com or levels.fyi, or simply just take your current pay right now and add 15 or 20% on top of that. Or if you work in any of these states that are on this list right here, I am legally required as your recruiter, if you ask me, to give you the base salary range for the role. So all you have to do is just reply by asking me, hey, what is the salary range for this position? And then you can tell me if you even want to interview for this position, if it's the right kind of pay. Now, the next red flag is if I ask you, are you interviewing at other places? And you say that you aren't. This is a red flag because the best or the top candidates are typically gonna get multiple offers from the top companies. And so if you tell me that you don't have any other interviews going on, that's a red flag. And similarly, if you tell me that you're not interviewing at other places, and then as we give you a job offer, you then tell me, surprise, you actually have a job offer from another company, when you never told this to me in the beginning, I'm gonna think that's a red flag because you're probably lying. Similarly, another red flag is if you say that you have a competing offer from one of our competitors and the numbers just don't make sense and they're really high, and they're numbers that I've never seen from other offers, because remember, I'm a recruiter and I know what my other companies and competitors are typically paying, so if your numbers don't make any sense, that's a red flag because I'm gonna think that you're lying and you don't actually have another offer. So I'm gonna ask you to share a screenshot or a copy of the offer letter or an email from that other recruiter with those compensation numbers if I don't think those numbers are real and they're too good to be true. Remember, if I catch you in this lie, you will get blacklisted and you will not get an offer. Now, the next red flag is if you were referred by someone within the company and we ask you how you know the person who referred you. And if you've never worked with them before or you just randomly message them on LinkedIn and they don't actually know you, that's a red flag because now their referral means nothing. Since they've never worked with you firsthand, they actually don't know if you're even good at your job. So if you want to know how to properly network and get a good referral within a company, you're going to want to watch this video that I have right here. And the next red flag is that you're not subscribed to this YouTube channel because I post free weekly career content that will help you get more job offers and advance your career, and it's totally free. Next, let's talk about one of the biggest red flags that even gets the most qualified candidates rejected. Now, if you applied for this job and I ask you, why do you want to work here? And you don't have a good answer, you are going to get rejected. I have a full video on my channel on how to answer the interview question, why do you want to work here? But basically, in a quick summary, you need to do some research on the company so you can explain why you're so excited specifically to go and work there. And then you're going to want to talk about how you can add value and help this company, product, or team. Now, if you did not apply for this job and the recruiter just messaged you on LinkedIn and wanted to see if you were interested, you don't actually have to worry about answering this interview question because, again, you don't really know if you want to work there yet. It's their job to sell you on the opportunity. Congratulations, by watching this video, you are now going to pass more of your recruiter interviews. But of course, you need to make sure that you can stand out from all of the other candidates when you make it to the next round of interviews. So you're going to want to watch this video right here on how to stand out by using some of these advanced interviewing techniques. Thank you all for watching, and don't be afraid to shake things up.